Hello, everyone. I would just like to let you know about my forthcoming online weekend on the subject of my new book, You Are the Happiness You Seek. And by way of introduction, I would like to read a short passage from Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi wrote very little himself. Most of the writings that are available were taken down by his students and devotees from conversations that they had or heard with him. But this book, Nan Yar, or Who Am I, is one of the few books that he wrote himself and is, as such, very precious. The book could be considered a commentary on something that Ramana Maharshi said, namely that happiness is our very nature. It is not wrong to desire happiness. What is a misunderstanding is to seek it outside of ourself, when it is, in fact, the very nature of ourself or our being. So I would like to start by reading something from the introduction to this book. This is a very nice edition that was produced by Ramana Maharshi's ashram, Sri Ramana Ashram. And this is just a paragraph from the introduction. This jewel amongst the writings of spiritual masters contains the essence of every teaching on the liberation of mankind. All questions that arise from the depths of the human soul, the query about the meaning of life, as well as questions on love, truth, happiness, God, the Absolute, and so on, ultimately lead to one single question: who am I? Or what is the nature of ourself? And the instruction concerning the answer to this very last of all questions contains the knowledge that everything a person is searching for can, and indeed has to be found only inside. Love is inside. Truth is inside. Happiness is inside. God is inside. Indeed, God is our very own self or being. So I'm going to read just one of the verses from this short book. And this is a loose reading of this verse. Happiness is the very nature of the self. Happiness and the self are not different. It is a misunderstanding to imagine that happiness can be derived from anyone or anything in the world. Our pursuit of happiness in the world is the cause of our suffering. When a desire is fulfilled, the seeking activity of the mind comes briefly to an end. The mind returns to its source and briefly tastes the happiness that is its essential nature. Likewise, in deep sleep and in deep meditation, and indeed during other experiences, such as a moment of intense joy or grief or astonishment, or indeed on the spontaneous surrender that sometimes accompanies despair and so on. The mind's activity of seeking and resisting that characterize the apparently separate self or ego subsides, and our true nature of happiness shines. In this way, the mind travels back and forth going outwards towards objects and returning inwards towards the self, which is its source, like one who travels back and forth between the scorching heat of the sun and the cool shade of the tree. The sane person is one who stays in the shade of the tree. Likewise, a sane person is one who remains in their being as pure being, the one being which shines in each of us as the experience I am, and which is at the same time the very substance or reality of all that truly is. Remain always in yourself, and as such, be happy for no reason. So I cannot add anything, nor need anything be added to those words of Ramana Maharshi. So I would just invite any of you who would like to explore these matters, not just philosophically, of course, but in our actual lived and felt experience, to join me on my forthcoming weekend titled "You Are the Happiness You Seek."